Hey there. Last night's game, sorry, this review's coming out a little bit later. It took me forever to get back home from work. Um, Last night's game was a pretty good one. I think the Hawks actually played really, really well. I took notes on it, obviously. This time I actually stayed awake through the entire thing. But since there's only one goal, I don't really see any point in, going over it period by period. So instead, I'm just going to go player by player. I'm not going to talk about everyone. I'm just going to talk about the notable players and what they did last night and as to whether or not I thought they played well. So to start, I want to talk with the best player from last game, Seth Jones, in my opinion. Again, I think he was probably the Hawks' best player out on the ice again. He was stopping 2-on-1s. Vegas got a bunch of those, so, since he played 27 minutes last night, a little bit more than that, it might have been 27 minutes, 9 seconds, exactly. He stopped I'm sure he stopped quite a few 2-on-1s, and I believe there might have been a 3-on-1 in there as well. But he played really, really well. There were a couple of times last night where the Hawks picked up the puck in the neutral zone, and they were about to push through into the O zone, and then Vegas poked it off of them. Jones fought for the puck, got it back, and brought the Hawks right back into the O zone, and then he joined the rush several times. In fact, I believe he helped create a 3-on-2 last night with, it might have been Kane and Domi last night. And I'd say we probably should move on to Kane next. But yeah, Jones was awesome again, and I hope he continues to play like this. So Kane had a better game. He wasn't as invisible, but his line in general was not very good. I noticed a lot that him, Athanasiou, and Domi would just pass into open space and nobody would be there, and I was quite shocked by that. Kane doesn't normally do that, but I think he made some pretty good passes. He played pretty well on the rush, and his power play unit actually looked quite good tonight. Just, of course, when his power play unit looks good, the Hawks power play doesn't score, whereas last night neither power play looked spectacular, but the second unit scores. So and as for Domi and Athanasiou, more of the same from Athanasiou from the first game to the second. He used the speed, didn't do much with it. There was one time where I noticed he turned the puck, he was able to fight for the puck back and win it. Domi actually played quite well defensively, in my opinion, at least in terms of back-checking. He back-checked a lot and he pressured the puck a lot, and so did Kane. I noticed Kane was back-checking a lot and he was pressuring the puck carrier a whole lot too. And then the next group, players I want to talk about is the Taves line. I don't think I could talk about an individual player on that line because they all played very, very well. They were by far, hands down, the best line from last night's game, and there's no debate about it. The amount of cross-ice passes and cross-crease passes that Radish, Johnson, and Taves all nearly connected with each other on was ridiculous. They probably had the most scoring chances by any Hawks players combined, but despite the fact that they played really, really well, that's not the kind of line we gotta be relying on every night. But if they can score consistently, I'd say the Hawks have a better chance of winning games, although it's not necessarily what we want. But it did suck to see them lose last night's game after the performance they had. And again, the second best line, same as the first game, second game, they were the second best line again. The Lafferty line, Kurashev, and Entwistle. I forgot to mention in the first game, but Entwistle was a beast on the penalty kill, and I didn't really see him on the penalty kill last night. I can't really remember all too much, but I noticed he played really, really well, was constantly turning pucks over, and Kurashev and Lafferty nearly converted on several net front passes, mostly Lafferty crashing the net, and yeah, they played really, really well. The Hawks' fourth line was meh. There wasn't really much to say about it, aside from the fact that Buddy Robinson wasn't in the lineup and Reese Johnson took his spot and ended up playing center, and I believe he did pretty well at the dot too, so that's encouraging. On the blue line, there was a change in personnel. Caleb Jones came back from injury and swapped out with Alec Regula, and he played with Philip Bruce. I felt like Caleb Jones had an okay game. He had some quite shaky moments, but he was shooting the puck quite often, and he looked pretty decent in the offensive zone. But in his own zone, it was kind of a mess. But his D partner, Philip Bruce, had a really good game. I believe he stopped at maybe one or two 2-on-1s all on his own. And near the end of the game, Luke Richardson started playing him on the top D pairing with Seth Jones, which, in my opinion, shows a lot of confidence in the young player. So I hope he continues to play like this and gets a lot of reps in with Seth Jones if Alex Vlasic isn't going to be playing, at least with Chicago to start the season, because Jake McCabe could be coming back in the Hawks home opener. But Connor Murphy, his D pairing with Jared Tenorti, they played a lot better this game. I noticed that they were pretty decent on defending the rush. And when they came to Vegas trying to, create something in the Hawks zone, the Murphy line was very good at shutting things down. Maybe they couldn't get the puck out immediately, but they did a good job of containing things, and then once they got that puck, they generally were pretty good at getting it out of the Hawks zone. Alex Stalock had a hell of a game. He stole so many goals from the Vegas Golden Knights. They should have scored way more than the one that they did last night, but Alex Stalock stood on his head similarly to Logan Thompson, and he kept the Hawks within one goal the entire game. Like I said, there wasn't much to talk about when it came to this game because not a lot happened. There was just a lot of back and forth, a lot of the Hawks getting eaten up in the neutral zone and letting passes just be sent through. And I believe a lot of that was through bad line changes, which I think Luke Richardson will do his best to fix, but it's early in the season, stuff like that happens all the time. But it's also the Hawks, so I don't see it really going away. So if you like this video, be sure to give it a like, and if you really liked it, hit that subscribe button. It's completely free, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.